Yo, what's up with his tongue?
What's wrong with it?
Super thin.
This isn't an SB.
It's not?
Yeah, but no, this is a dunk.
No
It
peanut
came
butter
before the
tongue.
SB, so it's got the.
What happens if I get that wrong?
Old heads will come for your
Yeah,
head.
they
For
will.
him?
For
no,
your
for your
head.
ass.
Me?
Because you should have known.
Be easy on me.
Yeah, for real. But speaking of, I wanted to talk about something.
Yeah.
You know, because it's a two-way street with this. All right, I know we have issues, but we can't get started until you ring the bell. Hype versus real. What I want to talk about is there hasn't been a lot of shoes dropping, but there have been the return of the SBs.
They're back.
Yeah, you copped a pair.
Yeah, I did.
Toss us the SB.
Hoot!
This is your box. You want the honors?
Yeah.
Hey, purple box is fire.
First of all, this purple box is sick,
Purple box
right?
is fire.
So this is part of the J pack. So they're releasing some dunks,
Yeah.
some SB dunks that have Jordan themes.
Yeah.
So here we're looking at
The
shadow.
color. Yeah.
Shadow. They also did a pine, which is pretty dope.
Yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of different colorways. There's the red, there's the green, there's like a teal version of it, but obviously the pine and now the shadow. I like the shoe. I mean, I like SBs in general, but I got something. It might be just a little nicer than this. Hold this. The Strange Loves. Oh, look at this shoe.
Flexing on people.
Damn.
Wow. Well, let me see
Nike
one.
SB.
Wow.
Can I hold $1?
You want to hold the dollar?
Yeah.
I'll let you hold the dollar.
Insane.
Pete, so, I mean, there's nothing much to say.
That's
But
amazing.
the reason why we brought these shoes isn't because we're going to discuss whether or not this or that is hype.
No.
I want to talk about whether or not the hype around the SBs is justified or not. Because
Yeah.
there's a lot of people who really get angry that SBs are back.
Hell yeah, they are.
Right. Talk to me, Matt.
So dunks go way back. This is not a new silhouette. It's not a new shoe. SBs have been around for quite a while.
Yeah.
And a lot of the early collectors were very much a clique group because there weren't a lot of people really into these. They just
Skateboarders.
weren't. Skateboarders were into them. The original, dunk was a basketball shoe, but the SB line, they were skateboarders. That's a very clique group of people.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, it started in like 2003, so it was, but go, continue. I'm going to jump in.
So what we've got here is a bunch of people have been collecting something for a long, long time, sort of underground, I guess you could say.
It
It's
was
a
like a
term we'll
subculture
use.
within a subculture.
Kind of an underground bit of collectors within Nike, and suddenly their shoe is being worn by rappers, celebrities, and so everyone's suddenly seeing it, the way that people are styling it, and they love it. And so it's gotten popular again.
Yeah.
So what we've got like these, like a convergence of like all these new people who are really into it, and then you've got like the old heads, and they hate each other.
Yeah, they get so mad.
Old heads can't stand new SB
Right.
people. Like it's like
Do not tell an old head that Travis brought SBs back.
no.
Because people will get mad.
And I understand.
Well, and here's the thing, look, I'm an old head, right? But I'm not mad that SBs are back in the limelight. It's fashion in general. I mean, things come back around. The SBs had their moment and they're back. It's not like SBs weren't hype. They've been there from 2003. They had their run until maybe 2013. There was a lot of cool shoes, and all of a sudden they faded off, and nobody wanted them, and now they're back.
The one thing that does suck though is if you're a collector and you really do like these things is that the prices have skyrocketed.
Sure.
Almost every colorway has gone crazy.
But here's my thing with that. If you were a collector, then you had them.
Maybe, yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? If they were prices on shoes that were awesome. I mean, you could at one point have gotten, you could have gotten What the Dunks for $2,000. Now they're in the 15 to 20,000 range. But you had your opportunities. You had years where the shoes weren't worth a damn. So if you were really a collector, if you were really into SBs
Saying
like
you
that,
should have already copped
you
them
got
at
your
this point.
shoes, right? Because I was able to cop a lot of shoes for $50 that I didn't have because the SBs died. I didn't sell my SBs. I kept a lot of them. I wore a lot of them. So now that they're back, great, cool.
It's cool because Nike has really responded to market demand for them.
100%.
So they're coming out with a lot of new SBs.
100%. And here's the thing. I saw somebody post it up. They came after, not came after, but they were like, Nike SBs could do. You can retro. There's so many shoes and so many stories that you can tell. And Nike responded back by saying, "Why tell old stories when there's so many new ones to tell?" For example, like this one.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think I've always been a fan of the storytelling that falls behind with SBs. Like there's so many themes, the baby bear, the mama bear, the what the dunks.
SB's always been the best about telling cool stories with the shoes.
100% theme shoes were great.
Within Nike.
Look at this one. I mean, this is a collaboration with a skate shop and an artist. They look dope. I hate this divide where it's the them versus us, new heads versus old heads, old school versus new. I mean, look, at one point people didn't like Nike skateboard because they weren't grassroots, but there's an entire generation of kids that grew up after SBs dropped and they've only known Nike SBs in the skateboard world.
Man, I equate old SB heads to like guys that are really into a band and then the band gets big and you start hearing on the radio and they stop listening to the band. Like, are you a child? Are you a child? Like, what are we doing here?
People get angry
because it's popular.
Totally.
Like, you hate it now,
totally.
or you hate everyone that likes it.
It's one of those things though. I mean, it was their own for the long time, and they weren't ready to give them up. But I don't ever. These are shoes, man. There's more. There's gonna be a lot more, and I'm happy that they're back. And yeah, unfortunately, whether you like it or not, Travis had a lot to do with the hype that came back with SB because he started wearing them and he's a very popular guy. So to say that he wasn't a part of it or had something to do with the rise of the SB popularity again is just asinine.
There are probably so many people slamming their fist on their
that's
desk
fine.
right
Be
now.
mad.
So mad
Hey,
at
leave
you.
us a message if you're mad and tell me that I suck. But guess what? I got my pairs because when the hype was going down, I took advantage.
Yeah.
I got the shoes that I wanted. And now that there's new stories being told, I'm cool with that too. So are SBs hype or are they just real?
They've always been real. I've been wearing fat tongues for as long as I can remember.
Facts. What do you think, Dappa?
I'd have to agree. I think they are real.
You know, when it came to, is it hype versus real, the shoes come back around. I mean, it has to be real. It's not like it's a new genre that it's just kind of making its way into it. It's like it's full circle. It died off for a little bit. Popularity went away with it. Maybe because the old heads were the only ones wearing it and the young heads weren't doing their thing. But now they are.
So it's crazy.
And you know, this shoe is more, and the only reason why I even brought this shoe was just to kind of show how much more they can do with these shoes.
Yeah.
It's still a blank canvas.
There's stories to be told for sure.
Stories to be told.
There's a bunch of cool stuff that's gonna come out. I can't wait.
You know, and this is one of those Rodney King moments where I'm like, can't we all just get along?
Exactly.
Enjoy the kicks, you know what I'm saying?
Should have got him if you loved him so much. Can't be mad now because other people think they're cool.
And I'm an old head, so if you want to get mad at me, what else? Add it to the list of things you're mad about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Have fun with that. How's it going for you?
Because I'm an old head and I still got mine.
That he did.
Real.
Yeah. Real.
Real.